Millions of people became obsessed with this song before they even know why. Think back to the first time you heard Chaise Longue. You probably didn't think, wow, this is one of the greatest songs I've ever heard. You probably thought, what the hell is this? The lyrics barely made sense. The singer sounded almost completely detached. The riff repeated itself with almost no variation. By every rule of modern music, this song should never have become a global hit. And yet, it was shared millions of times by people who didn't even like that kind of music. People didn't just listen once, they came back, again and again. Here's the strange part. Most people didn't share Chaise Longue because they love it. They share it because they wanted to see someone else's reaction. That is not how hit songs usually spread. It wasn't because they understood it. It was because they couldn't stop trying to. If a song became a worldwide obsession without providing clear answers, maybe we have been asking the wrong question all along. It isn't why did this song become a hit? It's what did this song reveal about us? The strangest part of Chaise Longue is not that it became a hit, it's that nobody expected it to. When Wet Leg released the song, they were not an established band with years of chart success. They didn't have a massive waiting fan base. What they had was a song that felt like an inside joke. A deadpan vocal, an absurd title, and lyrics that left people scratching their heads. And yet, that was enough to catch the attention of Domino Records. Soon after, critics couldn't stop talking about it. Festival crowds were shouting every word. Even Dave Grohl admitted he kept playing it at parties. Harry Styles was covering their sound on stage. Even Iggy Pop and Elton John publicly praised the band. When artists from completely different worlds all notice the same newcomer, you know something unusual is happening. How does a song that sounds like it, shouldn't work, ended up becoming impossible to ignore? The obvious explanation is that Chaise Longue is simply catchy. It has a memorable bass line and a hypnotic rhythm. Case closed, right? Not quite. Every week, thousands of catchy songs are released, yet most vanish by the following Friday. What made this different was the way people share it. They rarely said, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" And that is a huge distinction. People recommend songs they love. They share mysteries they want to solve. Instead, they said, "Come on, you have to hear this." Wet Leg stumbled onto something more powerful than a hook. They were not sharing a masterpiece. They were sharing a bizarre meme, an unsolved mystery. That changes everything. Actually, let me ask you something. What's one song you hated the first time you heard it, but eventually became obsessed with? I'm really curious to read your answers, because I have the feeling almost everyone has one. And your answer might explain exactly why Chaise Longue became such a phenomenon. Here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Most hits become popular because people understand them immediately. Chaise Longue did the opposite. People couldn't agree on what it meant. Was it a joke, a parody, a brilliant piece of satire, or complete nonsense? And that is exactly why the conversation never stopped. The more room a song leaves for interpretation, the longer the conversation lasts. When something refuses to settle into one clear meaning, we don't move on. We keep searching for the missing piece. Think about the songs people never stop arguing about. Bohemian Rhapsody, Hotel California, Smell Like Teen Spirit, for instance. They don't tell you what to think. They invited you to decide for yourself. The songs that last the longest are not the ones with the clearest messages. They are the ones we never stop talking about. But here's the problem. If confusion were enough, every weird band will be famous. So, what made Wet Leg different? Timing. By 2021, audiences were growing tired of artists who felt carefully manufactured. Wet Leg arrived as a breath of fresh air. Two friends from the Isle of Wight, a band name they admitted was so stupid, and a singer who looked like she wasn't trying to impress anyone. Nothing about them screamed future global sensation. In fact, they looked almost too ordinary to become the next big thing. That made people lean in instead of looking away. It didn't feel perfect, it felt real. And that is exactly what audiences were craving. Not perfection, but authenticity. But authenticity alone doesn't create a global hit, right? So why did they succeed? While thousands of equally authentic bands disappeared? If authenticity was enough, every honest band would become a sensation. They don't. And that's because great songs don't spread on their own. They need someone to recognize them before everyone else does. For Wet Leg, that someone was Domino Records. The label heard something most people hadn't yet noticed and signed the band before they even released an album. Then came producer Carey, whose stripped-back production made Chaise Longue feel even more effortless. Each step gives the next person a reason to press play. It looked like an overnight success. It was a spark, landing on wood that was already dry. But here's the real surprise. Even Domino Records couldn't have predicted why people would keep coming back long after the first listen. So, why did Chaise Longue become one of the defining indie hits of the decade? It wasn't just the riff, the lyrics, or the label. It was a rare collision of psychology, authenticity, and opportunity. In a world flooded with artists desperately trying to grab our attention, Wet Leg did the impossible. They made confusion irresistible. We no longer fall for perfect songs. We fall for songs that feel real. Songs that leave space for us to fill in the blanks, inviting us into the mystery rather than solving it. The biggest hits don't define a generation. They expose it. Chaise Longue isn't modern pop. It is the return of 1977 punk disdain. It is the same mechanism the Sex Pistols and Talking Heads used to force us to listen, rejecting perfection to reclaim authenticity. Wet Leg didn't invent the rock and roll playbook. They simply dusted it off. That's all for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, stay curious. Au revoir.